When you understand personality preferences, you can more readily appreciate the differences between you and the people who are closest to you, such as your spouses, maybe your partner, your children, your friends, even other family members. And in most areas of life, when differences between you and someone else are bothersome or frustrating, you can actually avoid them in some kind of way. But what if that person is your best friend? Or maybe that person's a loved one, a family member, or even your spouse. You'd have to do a lot or lose a lot to walk away from it. So knowledge of personality type allows us to see the differences as those, just as being different, not right or wrong, we're just all different. So instead of labeling someone or putting value judgments on their behavior, you can start to see that behavior reflects their personality type or their preference. And it's not really designed to offend you or frustrate you or make you angry. Many couples can learn to appreciate the differences and even can see them through a humorous light. The ESFP is a generous, friendly, sympathetic, even affectionate personality. They're eager to please their partners and they love to have fun. They are very interested in a harmonious and very active household. They love family life very much and they're going to prefer to put their family above other things. Now, they will avoid conflict and they may have trouble being very seriously because they want to be in their active lives rather than doing something that might be uncomfortable, like a discussion or decision. But they are very tuned into the needs of the people around them. They're supportive and they want to take good care of their families. And they're impulsive because they want to take care of the pleasures of life as well. They may go where the wind blows, and at times they even neglect their responsibilities because they're very present-oriented. They want a partner who is going to be interested in their lifelong pursuits of fun and excitement because they are also very spontaneous and they immensely dislike that structured personality and a structured lifestyle. The ideal mate is going to be one that's affectionate and appreciative of their generosity and a desire to be helpful to others. They're fun and delightful to be with, and of course they live for the moment. That goes along with that perceiving side of their personality. They are going to be present-oriented and they want to know how to make the most of every moment. They're warmly interested in people and they want to make others be happy. They're kind-hearted and generous and they're going out of their way to do something nice for someone. Their affection, however, may be very simple. It's going to be straightforward. It's going to be honest because they don't like things that are complex. They're going to resist any kind of relationship that's going to really make them think because they want to be light and happy and warm and affectionate and excited about life. Their potential downfall, though, is a tendency to live entirely for the present moment. And because of that, they sometimes are a little bit unaware of the direction that their relationship is heading, and they get easily distracted from long-term commitments. The ESFP has some wonderful strengths. They're enthusiastic and fun-loving, and they want everything to be fun and enthusiastic. They're clever, witty, direct, and popular. People are really drawn to this personality type. They tend to be down-to-earth and practical, and they're very able to take care of daily needs, although they don't look very far into the future. They are very present-oriented. They're artistic, they're creative, and they're likely to have very attractive homes. They can leave a bad relationship, even if it won't be easy. They're flexible, diverse, and they want to get the most out of every moment. But don't forget, they're also very generous and warm-hearted. On the weakness side, they could be frivolous and especially risky if it comes with material things like money. They also tend to be materialistic and they dislike criticism because they take it very personally. It wounds them. They're going to ignore conflict. Their lifelong commitments might be a struggle at times because they're very present-oriented and they just look at what they need right away. They're not going to pay enough attention to their own needs, and they have a tendency to neglect their own health and even abuse their bodies. Although they also are very excited about new things, which means they might change things frequently, and that may even be partners. Intimately, they embrace their love in a very big way, similar to the approach that they look at their lives. They love to be in love, and they're going to try to make the most of every moment. They take things on a day-to-day basis, and they're uncomfortable thinking too much about the future or making plans in advance. And for this reason, they don't tend to be very long-term commitment kind of personalities. They do feel tremendously committed on a day-to-day basis, but they don't really plan too well for that future. Their commitment is an issue and even a potential pitfall, but they can overcome it because becoming involved is very truly satisfying to them. They do not want to have others address this weakness, though. Instead, they are going to want people to look at what they want. They tend to be very earthly and sensual, which means that they're going to very much enjoy that intimate physical contact with a partner. They like to live in the here and now, and they embrace and enjoy the experience with all 5 of their senses. They're generous and warm and highly interested in making others happy, especially that partner. Now remember, they do tend to be a little bit materialistic, which means they might get caught up in what others think of them. Now, this doesn't mean, though, that it doesn't interfere with their personal relationships, because they really are not able to relate to their perspectives on these matters. They don't handle conflict well, and they don't like criticism, and they take it to be a very strong indictment of their character. So remember that you don't want to react with anger and harsh words and criticism, because you can't take it back. Now, do realize, though, that they are very literal when they communicate. When they say things in a very direct and abrupt manner, it might seem a little bit harsh, but remember that that's how they communicate, because they communicate in a concrete fashion, because they dislike theory and abstracts, and they really are more interested in just getting down to the bottom of things in a very factual, present tense manner. So, regarding anything about the future or the past, that means it's not a strong suit for them, because they're really more interested in the present. That means at times it may seem as if they are disinterested. Remember that they're very warm and giving people. They have simple needs and demands, and they just want to be happy, and they also just want to bring happiness to others. That means that they're also energetic and popular, and they're going to liven up the social life of a couple, and they are going to want to have as many new experiences as possible. The kindred soul for the ESFP is the ISTJ, ISFJ, ISFP, ESTP, and the ESFJ. So let's look at why we have chosen those kindred souls. So our natural attraction to people who share our dominant function, but who use it in different directions, works very well for us. We not only flip-flop that introverted or extroverted trait, but we're also going to flip-flop the judging and perceiving trait. So in this way, the partner that we choose for ourselves is going to have a very different approach to dealing with the external world. But if we're laid back and indecisive, then generally our partner is going to be structured and decisive. And if we're reserved, our partner is going to be outgoing. For all of our apparent differences, though, we do still have a common vision of what's really important in life, and that creates the foundation between these kindred souls. Although we really believe that this model is going to work well in finding and maintaining healthy relationships, it's important to remember that it's only a guideline. Just a guideline to help understand and to give some tools and some ideas of things that value in a relationship, but they're not meant to be followed strictly. So remember that any 2 well-developed individuals of any type can make a relationship work, and work is the key problem here and the key concept, because there's no such thing as an effortless relationship. So don't use these ideas as an excuse to really dump your relationship.